At every World Cup, one player walks away with something that follows them for the rest of their career. Not the winner's medal, not the team trophy, but the golden boot. The individual proved that at the greatest sporting event on earth, they were the most lethal human being in the building. And in 2026, with 104 games, 48 nations, and the most talented collection of forwards ever assembled at a single tournament, that race is going to be the most fiercely contested, most watched, and most dramatic individual battle in World Cup history. Before I give you the 10 players, I want you to understand the 2 rules that have decided every Golden Boot race in history. Rule 1. Your team must go deep, because a striker who scores 4 goals and goes home in the group stage cannot beat a striker who scores 6 and reaches the semi-final. And Rule 2. Your team must create chances consistently, because even the greatest finisher on earth cannot score chances that never arrive. And those 2 rules alone will eliminate half the names people are mentioning right now before a single game is played. At number 10, Viktor Gyökeres of Sweden and Arsenal, a striker who in 2 seasons at Sporting CP scored 97 goals in 102 matches before earning his move to the Premier League, and who has been described by analysts as one of the most physically complete centre forwards in European football, powerful in the air, lethal with both feet, and relentless in his movements. But Sweden are in Group F, with the Netherlands and Japan, 2 teams that will not give him space freely. And if Sweden exits early, Gyökeres goes home with 4 goals, and no boot regardless of how brilliant those goals were. At number 9, Lamine Yamal of Spain and Barcelona, still only 18 years old, and this season he has scored 17 goals and provided 13 assists in La Liga, giving him a direct goal contribution every 72 minutes across the entire season, a rate that most experienced forwards will be proud of. And Spain are in Group H with Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay, which means Yamal will face weaker opposition in the group stage and could build a significantly tally before the knockouts begin. At number 8, Vinicius Jr. of Brazil, the most physically terrifying attacking player on this list, and arguably the most frightening winger on the planet when he is running at a defender in open space. But Vinicius sits at 8 rather than higher because his greatest gift is creation rather than finishing. He makes goals happen more often than he scores them himself. And in a Golden Boot race where only the name on the score sheet matters, that distinction is the difference between winning and finishing with 5 goals and an empty trophy cabinet. At number 7, Julian Alvarez of Argentina and Atletico Madrid. And Alvarez is the most underestimated player on this list. He scored in the World Cup semi-final and the final in 2022. He scored 19 goals for Atletico Madrid this season, and he leads Argentina's attack alongside Messi in a team that has been one of the tournament co-favorites. And the key thing about Alvarez is that he scores the goals that matter most in the moment when the pressure is at its highest, when other strikers find reasons not to shoot. At number 6, Rafinha of Brazil and Barcelona. And Rafinha entered this World Cup as arguably the most informed Brazilian forward of the entire season, finishing as one of the La Liga's top scorers with 27 goals and 14 assists for Barcelona, winning the La Liga title and being named in the team of the season. And in a Brazil side built around quick transitions and vertical attacking play under Carlo Ancelotti, Rafinha's ability to score from wide position, cut inside onto his left foot, and take penalties makes him a genuine threat to accumulate goals fast in the group stage. At number 5, Erling Haaland of Norway and Manchester City. And nobody on this list scores goals the way Haaland scores goals. 38 goals across all competitions this season. Premier League top scorer with 27 and 16 goals in 8 World Cup qualifying games for Norway alone. And this is his first ever World Cup after Norway ended a 28-year absence from the tournament. Meaning Haaland arrives with the hunger of a man who has been waiting his entire career for this specific stage. The brutal reality for Haaland is Group I, France, Senegal, and Iraq, where Norway opened against Iraq before facing Senegal, and then Mbappe's France in the final group game. And while Norway scored 37 goals in 8 qualifying games and have genuine quality in Martin Odegaard of Arsenal, this is not a group that allows easy goals to accumulate, and the Golden Boot race is often decided in the group stage, which is exactly where Haaland faces his toughest path. At number 4, Lionel Messi, 39 years old, returning to defend the title he won in 2022 at his 6th and almost certainly final World Cup. And while Messi is not the striker he was at his physical peak, he is still the most intelligent player in this entire tournament. The man who sees passes and spaces that nobody else sees, who arrives at the right moment to finish chances that look impossible. And Argentina in Group J face Algeria, Austria and Jordan, which gives Messi a realistic group stage where he can contribute goals without being suffocated by the world's best defenses. At number 3, Cristiano Ronaldo, 41 years old, making his 6th World Cup appearance in what is almost certainly the last chapter of the most decorated individual career in football history. 5 Ballon d'Or trophies, 5 Champions League titles, and the one prize that has always escaped him sits in a trophy cabinet that does not belong to Portugal. And Ronaldo in 2026 is not here to participate. He is here to take one final, absolute uncompromising run at the only thing he has not yet conquered. And Portugal's group, which includes DR Congo, Uzbekistan, and Colombia, gives him a path. At number 2, Kylian Mbappe, the reigning Golden Boot winner from Qatar 2022, with 8 goals including a hat-trick in the final. And in 2025-2026 season at Real Madrid, he has scored 42 goals across all competitions, finishing as La Liga's top scorer. And across his 2 previous World Cups, he has scored 12 goals in just 14 appearances, putting him only 4 behind Miroslav Klose, all-time World Cup record of 16. And Mbappe is France's penalty taker, their captain, and the focal point of every attack they build. The single reason Mbappe sits at 2 rather than 1 is Group I. France faced Senegal and Norway in a group where goals against elite defensive teams are harder to build, compared to the player at number 1, who plays in a group specifically designed to allow him to score freely in the early rounds and build the kind of lead that makes the Golden Boot his before the knockouts even begin. My Golden Boot winner for 2026 is Harry Kane, and the numbers make the case before I say another word. 58 goals across all competitions this season for Bayern Munich, making him the first player in Bundesliga history to win the top scorer award in each of his first 3 seasons in Germany. 36 in the league, 14 in the Champions League, averaging a goal every 66 minutes in league football this season. And he arrived at this World Cup having just scored 500 career goals for club and country at senior level. England are in Group L with Croatia, Ghana and Panama, and England will win that group, and they will win it scoring goals, with Kane as their penalty taker and primary finisher. He faces 3 opponents in group stage who will concede chances, who will give him space, who will allow him to build the tally that the Golden Boot requires. And if England go deep into this tournament, as their squad quality suggests they should, Kane has 8 potential games to score in, which is 2 more than any previous Golden Boot winner has ever needed. And the final reason Kane wins this boot is the one that no statistic can capture. Because Kane won the 2018 World Cup Golden Boots with 6 goals in Russia, meaning he has already done this once, already proving that he can arrive at a World Cup and finish as the deadliest striker on planet across an entire tournament. And players who have won the Golden Boots before carry something in their muscle memory, some knowledge of exactly what it takes. And at 32 years old, with everything to prove about his legacy and his place in football history, Harry Kane is not just the best striker here, he is the most motivated one. Now I want your answer. Who do you believe wins the 2026 World Cup Golden Boots? Is it Kane, Mbappe, Haaland, Messi, Ronaldo, or someone completely different? Drop your pick in the comments and tell me why, because this is a debate I genuinely want to have with every single person watching this video.